All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Who are we kidding? There's no ladies watching this online. But if there are some, we welcome you. Well, what I'm going to do today is do a demo of Pacxon. Pretty cool game, a twist on the 80s mega hit, arcade mega hit Pac-Man. And what I want to do is I want to go through this and help you do a couple things. One is try to achieve as high a score as possible so that you can set your personal best, or in case you're playing with a buddy and you want to bet him a quarter that you can score higher than he can, then I'll give you a couple tricks that will help you along that route. And the other thing is to just give you some tricks so that if you wanted to, you could try to get all the way through all of the rounds of Pacxon, and there are a limited number of rounds without dying. That is my goal. I've done that a couple times. It's hard to do, but you could do it. And there's just a couple things that you need to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll explain stuff as we go along. So this is the game board. And as you can see, the black part, which is what I call the universe, because it kind of looks like the space, your goal is to fill in the black part with as many blue spaces as possible so that you fill in 80% of the universe. And you can see up here your progress bar will tell you how close you are to 80%. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move around the screen, and as you see, as Pac-Man goes across the universe, there's a blue tail behind him of blocks. And once you get to another blue block, you complete building a wall. And what you're trying to do is to get as many blue blocks as you can, up to 80%. Now the cool thing about this is for each percent that you fill in, you get points. You actually get 6 points for each percent. So the more you fill in, the better off you are. You could stop at 80 if you wanted to, and that's fine. Or you can try to get as much as you can. And again, this is a step that's going to help you beat your buddies when it comes to this game. What I like to do, as you can see here, is I like to set little traps for the ghosts to put themselves in, and then I close up the traps, and that helps me accomplish the goal of getting as many blue blocks as I possibly can. What I try to do is a 2x3, at least initially, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to fill in 98% of the universe, like that. And so now I have 98 times 6, which is 588 points. The other way you get points is you can see that banana sitting there. During the game, the game drops different power-ups, which have different powers, and I'll explain those as we go along. When you eat those, you get points for those as well. So the first round, pretty simple. All you have is 2 pink ghosts. Set traps for them, close them up in the traps, and you're good to go. Next round, they add something different. They add a little yellow guy, and you'll see that yellow guy, what he does is he merely crawls around the outer edge of the blue space. So he's pretty easy to avoid. As long as you stay in the middle of blue space like this, then you're not going to have any trouble. Oops. So one thing I hate about this game is sometimes you can be in the blue space, but that the pink ghost will sometimes vibrate, and if you're right up next to the edge while he vibrates, it will actually bleed over into the blue space and catch you like it did me. So normally what I would do is start the game over, because again I like to get all the way through without dying once, but since it's a demo I just keep playing so I can continue showing you some tricks. So my goal here now is try to cut this space that the orange and the pink guy is in half, because again that will get me more points. And as soon as I feel like I got the right the ghost at the right spot, then I'll go ahead and do that. Looks like I'll be able to do it here in a second right now. So now I have them trapped into 2x3. So again, that's going to allow me to get to 98% again. Now, more often than not, the ghosts go in a horizontal movement where they go left to right, but you can see this guy's going top to bottom. So if I want to trap him, I'm going to have to set some vertical traps like this for him to fall into. Sometimes it takes some time to do that, but my guess is, since you're listening to me do this demo, then you probably have a lot of time, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem for you. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for him either to fall in this one over here or this one to the left. So as soon as he falls into one, we'll close up the trap, and we'll be done, and we'll go into the next round because I'll be at 80% or greater. There he goes, and there you go. There's 98%. There's another power-up, the cherries. The bananas and the cherries both give you an advantage over the ghost. The bananas will actually slow the ghost down, and that's really important in later rounds when the ghosts are buzzing around fast. You want them to go slow because that helps you try to trace where they're going and avoid bumping into them. The cherries make you go fast, so it doesn't do anything to the ghost, but it lets you go fast. That gives you an advantage early in the rounds, but later rounds, I don't like getting the cherries because when you start going fast, sometimes you lose control of where you're going. Okay, this is the third round. This round, we're going to introduce a new character, and that's that blue guy you see up there floating around. I want to go up and grab this cherry because I get points for it, and notice how fast it's making me. Again, that could be helpful sometimes. See how I was able to get across the screen pretty fast, but for the most part, I'm going to avoid cherries if I have to. Now, what I do with the blue guy is I build a little area for him to play in. So this is his area up here. As long as I stay out of up here, there's no way blue guy can hurt me, unless he goes down through this very narrow outlet right here. That's the only way he can get down into this space where I'm going to start playing around. And as long as he doesn't do that, then I'm good. And as you can see, I'm going to do pretty much what I did the first two rounds. I'm going to build traps for the pink ones, 2x3 traps. And I want to get my maximum score. I say maximum score, you can actually get 99%. I've done that a couple times, but it's very, very hard to do. And basically, you just got to get lucky to do it. So 98% to me is, that's about as good as it gets. And there goes pink. He's going to fall into this trap. And there's my 98% again. Okay, now this round, they're going to throw Big Red at us. Big Red is the ghost up there. He's really kind of harmless. The only thing that he does is he causes destruction. So when you build a wall, you see he eats the blocks. Notice there's 2 blocks missing in my wall down here. But he moves so slowly that it's pretty easy to avoid him. So you don't really have to worry about Big Red. I normally would set traps for pink on this round. The problem is if I set traps and Big Red gets in the traps, he starts eating up the traps and it just gets kind of messy. So sometimes I do traps on this one, sometimes I don't. What I want to do is when he comes back down here, I'm going to let him, if you notice, he hit my wall before I actually completed it. And what happened was my wall turned red. And that red starts firing down the line towards me. If it gets to me before I complete that segment of the wall, then I'm dead. So you want to avoid that. There's a pink going up into one of my traps, so I'm going to trap him up there. Like that. So you want to try to stay as close to your made wall as possible. So if it turns red, all you have to do is turn into the wall, and the rest of your line will be saved. So there, I kind of cut it short. I didn't want to sit around and wait too long. I got 87%. That's pretty good. On this round, I kind of like to get 90%, but 87% is good. It's better than 80%, so I'll take it.